Now we have here the first perspective here. Very nice. So, yeah. Okay. So the first perspective, I came up with what? Very nice. I came up to think of an idea. That's a perspective. Let's go next. Check up on, to examinate, investigate. So to examinate and investigate, so you check up on. Check up like to go to the doctor. Come down with, to get sick. So these were actually some of his things, like some of like his perspectives, like some of the things that he was talking about. Let's go for one more. Then we go to our things. Fall out with, to argue and stop being friends. Fall out with, to argue and stop being friends, and he explained what's that. Okay? Now let's go for the thing that we need like to talk about again. What is that thing? This one. The problem, the environmental problems. No, I'm so sorry. The community problems that we have been talking about. What's that problem? Employment. So employment is a problem that we have. Unemployed people. So we have lots of people are unemployed. Now, so let's try to help those people. If you are one of them, try to join us. And this is a good thing. Okay, let's help you through this course because that's partly somehow soft skills thing. Okay, so let's help you here. So, what do we have here? Yes, we have here a video. I'm so sorry, not a video. I'm not going to play a video. Sorry. Okay, what do we have here? I'm so sorry. So what do we have here? We have like the 10 steps how to write a CV. 10 steps. Sorry, not this. Okay, so 10 steps how to write a CV. I wanted to play the video in the beginning, but I thought about it. Why not we mention the 10 steps, then we talk about the video. Okay, 10 steps how to write a CV. Let's go through them. So, what's the first step in writing a CV? Very nice. First step in writing a resume or a CV, so I have to find a job for my resume. I don't know, like there is something with the animation. So let's try it again. Find a job for your resume. Find a job for your resume. That's an important thing. So you have to hunt a job before trying to write anything in your resume. Now let's go for next. Very nice. Next step is list keywords for your resume. Now what means keywords? Keywords, as we agreed before, technical support, supervision, Microsoft Word, programming, all of the things that other people are requiring. So the requirements for other people. Okay, so these are the keywords. Things like other companies might be interested in. We've said that all the companies nowadays, they try to scan CVs through, yes, machines. They scan CVs. So when they scan your CV, they need to look for some keywords to make it easier for them to, yes, to get to know you and to find you easier. Because if you're trying to talk about applying to a CV, applying to a job or something like that, so how many people do you think are going to apply for the same job you're applying to? Lots. Okay, let's go next. Okay, choose a resume format. Now the format of the resume, as we have discussed before, now we have 3 formats. The chronological, functional, the combination format. Now we have said like this. Okay, so we said We have chronological, functional, and combination format. Okay, what are these? These are three types of like CVs. Okay, so chronological, functional, and combination resume. All of these formats are going to be directed to a specific job. Meaning, for example, a chronological, that's like the best of them. All the recruiters, they like the chronological format. And we've seen that in a course. We had it like in like a sample from it. Functional is not everyone likes that kind of resumes. Why? Because like you can say in this kind of resume, it's like for changing jobs and other things. Okay. Combination, if you're looking for a promotion, looking for like going vertical. We say going vertical when you actually go up and try to promote yourself. Let's go next. Okay, next step in writing is a resume or a CV. Use your resume heading. Okay, your resume headings are like this. If we're going to talk about resume headings, okay. First, you write your name. Write it large font, write clear, and it appears on the top of the thing. That's the first thing, your name. Then maybe you can add your contact information. Now, how to divide everything else? Now, for your phone number, write a phone number that's not related to work, because as we said, don't expect the other person to be discreet about the job or to treat it with discretion, something like that. Discretion, that means like he keep it a secret until he reaches you. Why? Try to give a cell phone number or a home phone number. You know, like it's better, and it's somehow like easier for you to be reached. You know. Now we said also about like the email should be an email. Put an email address, profile. Actually, social media profile. Pay attention. That's an important thing. Like the social networking or social media. We're going to talk about Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or any of these social media. Pay attention that the profile you put is an appropriate profile, appropriate picture. You don't have anything like any bad words or anything on your wall, something like that. Try not to put something like private profile, you know, meaning put a profile or create a profile related to just work. That will help you a lot. Next. Very nice. So next step is your resume job objective. Now you have to put a job objective. Why? Now it shows that you are like a person of a plan. You have a plan. You're not going like chaotic. You have a plan. That means what? You're directed towards something. You have a plan and you want to go through it. So that's the important thing. Now let's go next. Okay, your summary of qualifications. Now pay attention to something. Now when I write my summary of qualifications, will that be enough for the employer? Yes or no? That's a good question. Technically it's not enough, but it's an approach. Why? Now when I put a good summary about my qualifications, so that will actually somehow attract like the CV reader or the person who wants to actually hire me to read my qualifications. And when you write your qualifications, don't try to write lots of job descriptions. Again, don't try to write lots of job descriptions. Now, why? Because, for example, you're telling me you're an accountant, can deal with numbers. You're an accountant and have worked before on balance sheet and other things. What's new? But when you try to tell me about your achievements as an accountant, so that's what I want from you. So always try to talk about your achievements, not your job description. Okay, next, your work experience. Now, if we're going to talk about work experience is also one of the most important ones. Now, why is it important? Now, I'm telling him where I did used to go. I'm so sorry. I'm telling him where I used to work. I'm telling him, okay, how to actually deal with me in the future, or I have this kind of experience or this kind of experience, that's what I'm asking for. So your work experience also is an important factor in your presentation. Now your resume achievement statement. Now talk about your achievements, yes, but do not lie about your achievements. Never lie about anything in your presentation. Why? Because think about it like this. Now, if I lied about something now, what will happen in the future? When they discover the lie, I'm not a trustworthy person, you know? So that's the thing. So try to be honest with your presentation and others. Okay, let's go next. Okay, now the next thing here, listing education on your resume. How to list my education? We said like actually you can list it from important to not important. Everything, not education. Education you list like most likely the latest thing about you, except if they require from you to list other things. Meaning, like for example, for teachers, for example, English teachers, something like that. Sometimes they ask them, and they asked me one time, actually, to write what was my, I'm so sorry, my school when I was young. You know, they wanted like language schools and other things. You know, international schools and language schools, they needed to make sure that I have like good English or something like that. But again, pay attention, like your English is going to be evaluated more in the interview, not just from the CV. If you even wrote in the CV that you are like perfect person in English, you're fluent, you can speak like Americans and all of these things, but you didn't pass the interview, okay, so that's the thing. The interview is the most important one. So if you're going to talk about something about your skills, try to be honest, so the other person gets like good idea about it. Okay? Now let's go for the last thing. Now the last thing here, my friends, okay. So the last thing we're going to talk about is the community service. Okay? Now volunteer work helps a lot if you talk about it inside your presentation. How? Also inside your CV or resume. How? Now, if we're going to talk about volunteer work, that means you have like that sense of like doing charity and helping other people. Lots of people, they like that. Also pay attention when you talk about your team work, playing. When you speak about volunteer work, you say like I've worked with my friends to work on something like that and that and that, you see? So that's somehow a sense of a teamwork playing, you know? So that's what I want for my like employee. I want to hire someone who has this sense a lot, okay? Now let's watch a video about what your resume is, okay? Let's watch a video about writing resumes.
Hey, this is Leo for Actualize.org, and in this quick self-help segment, I'm going to give you some practical resume writing tips. All right, writing a resume. It's actually a really simple and easy process once you get the mindsets correct. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to give you some practical ways of thinking about writing your resume that are really going to make it a breeze. You're not going to need to go take some expensive course or spend a lot of time on it. Writing a resume, this is the whole secret. You ready for the secret? It's all about understanding what the employer wants. It's about understanding who you're appealing to and what their needs are. Here's what you got to understand. And you really understand this when you become an employer yourself, which is what I did. I was first starting off my career, and I was an employee like you are right now, and I was really scared about writing a solid resume. I was scared about what do I put in there, what do I leave out, how do I make it appealing, how do I fluff it up so I can compete with everyone else. And so I was coming at it as an employee. And then later in life, I started my own business, and then I got the opportunity to hire people. and I hired a few people, and I was coming at it from the opposite side, and it was like looking through, through the looking glass and seeing that as an employer, the process looks totally different. And here's how it looks for the employer, because once you understand how it looks for the employer and you can empathize with that and put yourself in that frame of mind, then writing your resume is a breeze, and you are, I would say, in the top 3% of all your competitors, because all your competitors don't understand this, especially if they're applying for jobs that are kind of entry-level jobs. I would say a job that has 1 to 5 years of experience. If they've got more than 5 years of experience, they probably understand this because they've applied to many jobs. But between 1 and 5 years, which is where you're just learning how to write resumes, you're going to knock them all out of the water. So here's how you want to think. As an employer has specific requirements. That means that if I'm running a company, I need somebody to handle a problem for me. And as an employer, I'm doing math because I'm business oriented. And if my business has been in business for more than a year, then it's stayed that way because it's profitable, or at least because somebody was looking out for the bottom line. And the way that that happens is someone is sitting there and saying, okay, I've got this position. In fact, it's not even a position. It's like, I've got this opportunity in the marketplace to make some money, and I need someone to do this thing for me, or to handle this part of the business, or to do the marketing, or to do the sales, or to do the coding, or whatever it is that you do. And I need someone to handle that, and I need someone that's really good, really reliable, really talented, and also affordable. And I need this fast. I need it right now because I've identified that I have this opportunity, or I have this challenge I need help with. So I need someone to fill that position fast, and I need that person to be honest and straightforward so I can analyze their skills. And of course, I want them to be very competent in what they're doing, and I want them to be specialized. I don't want a generalist in most cases, with very rare exceptions. What I want is someone who can come in there and fix a specific problem. So for example, if I'm developing a website, right, and I myself am self-employed and I'm creating a website, and I know a little bit of HTML and a little bit of CSS, and I know basic web design, so I'm creating my site, but then I run into a problem. I need to create a shopping cart, and I need to integrate that shopping cart with the rest of my site that I built to sell my products. But I do not know all the complex programming language that is necessary to implement a shopping cart. I'm unfamiliar with shopping carts. It would take me way too many hours to learn how to implement a shopping cart. I'd rather outsource that. So that creates what? An employment opportunity. That's an employment opportunity. That means that I can hire someone, and someone can become my employee for a while or for forever, depending on how long I need that work, to handle this problem for me. And this is a specific problem. Now think about it. I'm going to go out there now and play along with me. I want you to put yourself in my shoes as the employer. So you're the employer. Now think about this. You're going out there and you're looking for someone to create a shopping cart for you. How are you going to find that person? What are you going to look for? First of all, you're going to have a very specific list of criteria that you have. You're going to say that you need this type of shopping cart. You want it to accept Visa and MasterCard, and you want it to do it in such and such a way, and you need maybe a couple of these features. You need it to save the user's history and password and username, and you want them to track orders, and you want a shopping cart, and you want it to sell these types of products, and you want these products in all these different categories. So you have all these specific requirements. And then, of course, you want someone to do that for you at the lowest possible price. You don't want to hire a programmer who's going to charge you $100,000 to implement a simple shopping cart. You want to get that at the most affordable price because you're looking out for your bottom line. The reason I'm creating this business and you're creating this website is because you want to sell a product. And if you're selling that product, and that product is, your profit margin on each product that you sell is, let's say, $10 on each product that you sell, you earn $10, but then you're going to pay $50,000 to implement a shopping cart. How many products are you have to sell to pay that off? That's going to be a bad bargain. So you're going to want to find someone who might do that shopping cart for maybe $1,000. Then it makes sense because you only need to sell, 100 products times 10 to pay off 1,000. So that's a good deal. So understand that as an employer, they're looking at the value, but they're also looking at the skill, right? So on the one hand, I want a shopping cart programmer here who's going to be fairly affordable. On the other hand, I want him to be as talented as he can be for that price. So what does that mean? That means I want him to be skilled in all the different languages that I need for this cart, and I want him to be reliable, and I want him to probably know not just one language, but 2 or 3 languages. I want him to have experience actually doing what I need, because if he doesn't have the experience that I specifically need, then how can I trust that he's going to be able to do it? It's going to be too risky for me, right? Think about this. You're hiring a shopping cart programmer, but what if you hire a generalist programmer instead? Would you be happy with that? So what if I came to you as a programmer and I said, okay, look, I'm going to make your shopping cart, and you say, okay, how many shopping carts have you made before? And I say, well, look, I've never made a shopping cart before, but what I have done is I've worked on some databases, and I've worked on some other websites, and I programmed in Visual Basic, and I programmed in my high school class, and I programmed in college, but I've never done a shopping cart. Are you going to want that guy? Probably not. Not if somebody else comes to you and says, hey, I've done 100 shopping carts. I know them back to front. I can do it for you in a week. Easy. Not a problem, right? You're going to hire that guy. So these are some of the mindsets. Now what I want you to do is to take that mindset and flip it around and use it on you. So whatever position you're applying for, think about it this way. What does the employer really want? How can I give it to them without a bunch of garbage? So when you're actually writing your resume, and this is where the tips part comes in, is the mindset actually meets the paper in this way. When you're writing a resume, be very clear about what you're offering. Specifically, get rid of all the fancy mission statements, get rid of all the fancy jargony words, trying to fluff yourself up. Employers see through that bullshit really, really fast. In fact, if you ever become an employer and you look at piles of resumes you get on your desk, you can see people that are trying to fluff themselves up. It's just like, it's so apparent. And they're trying to make themselves out to be more than they are. The best resume is a simple bulleted list of exactly what you do, what you specialize in, what you're going to provide for this employer, what your skill sets are, how much experience you have in them, and of course some of your personal characteristics that will create success. So that means, are you on time? Are you good working with other people? Are you friendly? Are you sociable? Are you diligent and hardworking? Are you reliable? So definitely mention those qualities, because every employer basically needs that in their employees. Otherwise, the employee is not going to work out in the long run. So have those qualities mentioned, but generally focus on the skills that you provide, right? What can you do? I can implement a shopping cart. I can create a website. I can write some web copy. I can do some marketing. I can do some sales over the phone. Whatever your skills are, list them, and then list them specifically. I know HTML. I know C++. I know this coding language. I know this thing. I know how to check grammar, and then of course back that up with experience. So list what your experiences are to back up your skills. So for example, if you've done several years of work with HTML, say that. If you've created 10 websites, say that. If you have examples of the kind of work that you created, that's the best. That's basically a portfolio. And if you have a good portfolio, you're done. You're sold. You don't need anything else. In fact, if you have a strong portfolio, I would lead with the portfolio. Because once someone sees your amazing work, that's it. They're sold. They don't need anything else. The rest is words. A resume should not be wordy. It should be very sparse. It should be like a skeleton, just an outline of exactly what you're providing to the employer. Because the employer is very selfish, and they don't have time to read through your garbage and your flowery language and your philosophy. They don't care about any of that. All they care about is, what are you providing? Are you a good match for exactly what they need? And then of course there's going to be the conversation about money, and you want to figure that out, and I'll cover that in some other video about negotiation for salary. But that's basically it. That's resume writing tips for you right there. I'll be signing off here. Go ahead, leave me some comments. Tell me what you think about this. I think you'll really find this valuable if you just make that mental shift. It's a mental shift. Put yourself into your employer's shoes. That's the whole secret to resume writing. Once you're in your employer's shoes, you don't need me to be telling you specific tips. You'll figure that all out yourself. You'll know what to do. It's actually very, very easy. So leave me your comments. Let me know how this worked out for you. Please go ahead, like this, and share it. And then, of course, visit actualize.org for more advanced personal development videos where I cover topics about career, life purpose, finding something that you're really passionate in, and psychology, the psychology of success that you are going to need at your new job to really kill it. Go ahead and also
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we can see from the video here, he explained lots of things about writing a resume, and the very important thing that you need to think about when you write a resume, that I have to put myself in the employer's shoes. Okay, now let's go to something. Now we're so sorry. We're very sorry about today's technical problems. We had lots of problems, lots of pressure on the server and other things. So I hope it was useful for you, away from the problems and other things. And also let's pay attention, we've learned lots of things, and again, these things are not going to stick with us until we apply them, until we actually try them ourselves and try to learn more. Never stop learning. Learn always. Try to find new ways of learning. Try to improve yourself always. That's my piece of advice for you. Okay? Never actually listen to people. Try to be yourself. Never listen to people and be you cannot do it or something like that. No, you can do it. Why not? Taking an English course online, or taking an English course face to face or something like that. So all of these are different. You can do anything like that. So just believe in yourself, trust yourself, and I wish the best for you. So this was Ahmed Ragab from the Academic Professional Training. We actually had this last session for the revision. Thank you very much. I hope it was useful, and I wish the best for you all. See you in the future, inshallah, in different courses. So I'll see you again. Thank you very much.